You and Jungkook had been neighbors since forever, literally, like since the time you were 5, and he was the quiet boy who always wore that bunny backpack to school. You grew up side by side, but somehow you two were never close, just hey Jungkook, and he would go, hey, don't fall today, because yeah, you fell a lot. You were clumsy since the beginning. Once, when you were 8, you fell right into the drainage hole near your house. Water wasn't deep, but it was muddy. You looked like a walking chocolate monster. Jungkook was the one who pulled you out. You still remember the way he frowned, wiped your face with his sleeve, and said, you are impossible. That was the day your heart decided, okay, it's him. He grew up nice, too nice actually, polite, clean, smart, athletic, everything a parent could want. And then there was you, the girl who still tripped over air. And then came Addie, Jungkook's best friend. Oh, Addie was perfect. The type of girl who could sneeze and still look like she was doing a photo shoot. Perfect clothes, perfect hair, perfect eyeliner, perfect everything. You weren't jealous at first, you just thought she was cool, but then that one afternoon in the park changed everything. You were sitting on the grass, sipping your juice box, your legs stretched out lazily. The late afternoon breeze brushed against your face, carrying the sound of laughter from the field. Addie was playing soccer with some boys, her ponytail swinging like a shampoo commercial, her white sneakers never missing a step. Watched her for a moment and sighed. She looked like she belonged there. Confident, graceful, shining. Beside you, Jungkook sat with his arms resting on his knees, a soft smile on his face as his eyes followed her. She's perfect, isn't she? He said suddenly, voice calm and thoughtful. You froze. The straw slipped right out of your mouth and juice dribbled down your chin. What? You blinked, quickly wiping your face with the back of your hand. He chuckled a little at your reaction, not noticing the tiny earthquake going on inside your chest. Addie, he said, still watching her. She's just perfect at everything, you know. Always confident, always sure of herself. You felt something heavy settle in your stomach. Yeah, she is. You mumbled, forcing a small laugh. She even runs like those girls in slow motion ads. He laughed at that, shaking his head. You're so weird. Thanks, you said dryly, stabbing your straw into the empty juice box. For a while, neither of you spoke. You kept your eyes on the grass, pretending to draw circles with your finger, pretending your chest didn't feel tight. He looked so peaceful watching her. That tiny smile on his lips made you want to scream and cry at the same time. You tried to speak normally. You like her, don't you? He glanced at you, a little confused. Huh? What? You know, you swallowed, Eddie. You were smiling like that. Jungkook raised a brow. Like what? Like someone who is watching the girl he likes score a goal. He laughed, genuinely laughed, and you felt your ears burn. What are you even saying? She's my best friend. I just admire her, that's all. But you didn't really hear that part. Your brain had already started making sad background music. You smiled awkwardly. Right, admire her. He looked at you curiously. Why do you look like someone just told you your favorite snack got banned? Nothing, you said quickly, standing up and brushing off your pants. I'm just going home. Already? Yeah, you forced a smile. Suddenly remembered I have homework. Very important homework. Since when do you do homework willingly? He teased, still grinning. You glared. Since now. Goodbye, Jungkook. You stormed off, tripping over a stick halfway, of course. He laughed behind you, calling out, careful, little girl. Don't call me that. You shouted, but your voice cracked embarrassingly. I'm going to do my homework. That's what you said to him before coming home, and here you were standing in front of a mirror in your room, staring at your reflection. Messy bun, oversized t shirt, socks that didn't even match. You puffed your cheeks, sighing. Maybe I should change too. You whispered to your reflection. Maybe if I learned makeup or dressed like Eddie, he would look at me the same way. You grabbed your phone and searched how to do eyeliner without poking your eye out. You didn't know it yet, but this was the start of a complete disaster. Next day, you showed up with lipstick, too red, like fire engine red. Your mom asked if you were joining a circus, but you didn't care. You wanted Jungkook to notice. The moment you stepped outside, you saw him washing his bike. You tried to walk confidently like Eddie, but your slipper betrayed you. You slipped, screamed, and the lipstick fell right on Jungkook's white t-shirt. He blinked. Did your lips just attack me? Your face turned red. You wanted to disappear. Oops, sorry. I was just trying a new shade. You mumbled, your face turning the same color as your lips. He chuckled, shaking his head. You are something else. You smiled weakly, thinking he meant something else, as in a disaster. But you didn't give up. You decided you were going to be more like Eddie, more mature, more confident, more perfect. You just didn't know yet that to Jungkook you already were. You woke up early the next morning with one goal in mind: change yourself. You looked at your reflection and said, from today, I'll be perfect. Your cat Muji blinked at you like, girl, please. You opened YouTube and searched how to look mature and elegant. 10 minutes later, your screen was filled with words like contour, blend, highlight, matte, shimmer, and you just sat there with your eyebrows raised. What's a contour? Still, you tried. You stole your mom's makeup bag. You applied foundation that was two shades lighter, eyeliner that looked like you fought a spider, and lipstick so glossy you could see your reflection in it. When you were done, you looked scary. Even Muji hissed at you. But no, you didn't give up. You wore a dress you hadn't touched since last year's wedding. Too tight. Couldn't breathe, but you told yourself. Beauty hurts. Then you stepped out of the house. Jungkook was outside, watering his plants. He looked up and for a second he froze. You smiled awkwardly. Morning. He blinked, trying not to laugh. Morning. Are you going somewhere? Just out, you said, pretending to fix your hair. Out where? Out there. You pointed at the street randomly. He raised an eyebrow. You are wearing heels? You nodded proudly. Yes, it's called fashion. And right after saying that, you stepped on a small stone, twisted your ankle, and boom, down you went. Face first, Jungkook dropped the watering can and rushed to you. Ryan, are you okay? You groaned, half lying on the ground. I'm fine. I just tripped on my beauty. Help. He laughed so hard you saw the birds flew away. He helped you up, brushing dirt from your dress. What are you doing? Seriously? You smiled nervously, just trying something new. He tilted his head. You are weird. You sighed. Thanks. That's so motivating. Later that day, you saw Addie again. She looked perfect as usual, no smudged makeup, no twisted ankles, and there you were, limping like a penguin. You watched Jungkook and Addie laugh over something, and your heart twisted again. Maybe you weren't trying hard enough. Maybe you would never be perfect. So that night you watched more tutorials: fashion, hair, walking, talking, everything. You even practiced smiling in the mirror, but every time you tried that Eddie smile, you ended up looking like you just smelled bad cheese. Still, you whispered to yourself, tomorrow will be better. The next morning you woke up with a new mission. You heard that Jungkook and Eddie were going to the school charity event that evening, and obviously you couldn't miss that chance. You told yourself, This is it. Tonight, I'll look like her, mature, elegant, perfect. You spent the whole afternoon preparing. Your room looked like a battlefield. Hair straightener here, open makeup palettes there, bobby pins scattered like landmines. At one point, your mom opened the door, looked around, sighed, and said, "You're not getting married tonight, right?" You smiled nervously. "No, mom, just trying to fix my face." "Good luck," she muttered, closing the door slowly like she had seen something cursed. By the time you finished, you looked different. The eyeliner was even this time. Well, almost. Your hair was shiny thanks to too much oil spray, and you wore a long dress that made you feel like a princess. You even put on perfume, a bit too much, but who cares? You reached the event clutching your little purse like it was your lifeline. Eddie was there, already surrounded by people. She looked so natural, laughing, talking, glowing, and Jungkook was beside her holding the camera, taking pictures for the charity post. You felt your heartbeat speed up. Then you took a deep breath and walked toward them. "Hey Jungkook," you called. He looked up, and for a second he just stared. "Ryan?" You smiled shyly. "Yeah, surprised?" He blinked. "You look nice." You almost melted on the spot. That was enough to make your entire night, but then, of course, disaster struck. The event had a small stage set up. Eddie was hosting, Jungkook was helping with the sound system, and you were standing there smiling proudly until someone from the organizing team came running. "Hey Ryan, can you help us carry these cupcakes to the table?" You nodded quickly. "Of course." They handed you a big tray, a big heavy tray, full of frosted cupcakes. You took two steps and your heel got stuck in a gap. Oh, before you could even blink, you tripped. The tray flew up, cupcakes everywhere. Chocolate frosting landed on your face, your dress, and even on Jungkook's shirt. The crowd gasped. You stood there frozen, your face covered in icing. Jungkook rushed over, trying not to laugh but failing miserably. He wiped a little frosting from your cheek and said between chuckles, "You have got a little something here." You glared. "Don't laugh." He grinned, wiping more. "I'm not. You just look too cute to take seriously right now." Your heart skipped. "Cute? I look like a dessert." "Exactly." He smuggled. "My favorite kind." You wanted the ground to swallow you whole. Addie ran over, trying to help, but Jungkook just waved her off. "It's okay, I'll take care of her," he said, and that small sentence made you feel warm inside, despite the cold frosting dripping from your chin. Later that night, you sat outside the hall, wrapped in Jungkook's jacket. He brought you a cup of juice and sat beside you. "Hey," he said softly, "you really don't have to try so hard, you know." You looked down. "What do you mean?" He shrugged. "You are funny, real. You always make things interesting. That's what I like about you." You blinked. "You like." He quickly cleared his throat, looking away. "I mean, as a person." You nodded, hiding your smile, but that night you couldn't sleep because he said he liked you. Even if it was as a person, it still made your heart race. You thought things were finally getting better after the cupcake disaster and that sweet moment where Jungkook said he liked you. Your heart had started to hope again, but the universe, as usual, had other plans. It was raining that evening, soft at first, then pouring. You were sitting near your window holding a cup of hot chocolate when you saw Addie running toward Jungkook's porch and with an umbrella. She looked perfect as always, hair tied neatly, cute rain boots, even the rain seemed to fall gracefully around her. You told yourself not to care, but curiosity has its own way of ruining peace. So you grabbed your broken umbrella and stepped out, pretending you were just checking the mailbox. That's when you heard them talking. Eddie laughed softly. You always help people, Jungkook. You are too nice. He chuckled. I just don't like seeing people in trouble. She teased. Especially Vian. That made you froze. Jungkook's voice was calm, almost fond. Yeah, she's always getting herself in some mess. I swear she's the clumsiest person alive. Eddie giggled. She's funny though. He smiled. Yes, she is. Like a little girl who never grew up. And that was it. Those words hit you harder than the rain. A little girl, that's all you were to him. Someone childish, silly, not someone he could ever take seriously. You stood there, water dripping from your hair, heart slowly sinking. You turned and walked away quietly, your umbrella flipping inside out in the wind. You didn't sleep that night. Every time you closed your eyes, you heard it again, like a little girl. Maybe you were stupid, maybe he was right, but it still hurt. The next morning, Jungkook knocked on your door. You didn't want to open it, but he wouldn't stop, so you finally did. He smiled a little. Hey, I didn't see you yesterday evening. Were you okay? You crossed your arms. Why do you care? He blinked. What's wrong with you? You looked up at him, eyes heavy. Nothing. I just realized I have been acting like a fool. Fool? What are you talking about? You said I'm a little girl, right? Guess that's all I am to you. His eyes widened. Wait, you heard that? Yeah, you smiled faintly, but it didn't reach your eyes. Don't worry, you are right, Jungkook. I have been childish, thinking maybe I could be someone you would like, but I get it now. Ryan, that's not. Before he could finish, you stepped back and closed the door softly. You didn't want to hear any more. And that night you promised yourself no more pretending, no more makeup, no more acting mature. You would just be you, even if that meant being the clumsy, weird, imperfect girl next door. But fate, of course, wasn't done. The next evening, you got a call from Addie. She sounded panicked. Fine, Jungkook is out there looking for you. He said you went to the park, but it's raining hard. What? I didn't go anywhere, you said. Then who texted him? You didn't know, but you didn't waste time thinking either. You just grabbed your coat and ran. The rain was pouring heavily when you reached the park, and there he was, completely soaked, hair plastered to his forehead, shouting your name. Ryan, where are you? You ran toward him. Jungkook. He turned around, eyes wide, relief washing over his face. What are you doing out here? I came to find you. Why are you here? I thought you were in danger. And you ran in this storm just because of that? He nodded. Of course I did. We both were shouting over the sound of the rain, but there was so much emotion behind it anger, worry, confusion, care. Then suddenly his voice dropped low. Why did you say all that yesterday? You looked down, rain dripping from your eyelashes. Because I heard you. You called me a little girl, Jungkook. He sighed deeply, stepping closer. That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? He hesitated for a second, then looked straight into your eyes. I meant you make me feel protective because you are precious to me. You make my heart go crazy, Ryan. You don't even know. You froze, staring at him as his voice sank in. Precious? You whispered. He nodded, smiling faintly. Yeah, and if that makes me call you a little girl sometimes, it's just because I don't want you to get hurt. You felt your lips curve up slightly. Too late for that. He frowned. What? You chuckled softly, wiping your eyes. You already hurt me, dummy. He sighed, running a hand through his wet hair. Then I'll fix it. Before you could process anything, he pulled you against his chest and pressed his lips against yours. Your eyes widened in shock. He pulled back, cupping your face. You are the girl who makes my heart beat like crazy every single time. You make everything messy, loud, and real. And I love that. I love you. You swallowed. You what? He chuckled nervously. I said it, finally. I love you, Vine. You and your clumsy feet, your messy hair, your random jokes, everything. You don't need to compare yourself with anyone because you are real. You make mistakes. You make me laugh. You make my heart do weird things. You are perfect in your own way. Your chest felt warm, like something finally fit after years of not fitting anywhere. You mumbled shyly, "You're saying this just because I'm hurt, aren't you?" He chuckled, shaking his head. "Nope, I would say it again, even if you tripped right now." "Promise me one thing." You swallowed. "What?" "Don't ever change again. I like you exactly like this." You smiled. "Even if I trip again tomorrow?" He chuckled, eyes warm. "Then I'll be there to catch you, like always." And you knew he meant it because Jungkook had always been there. From the muddy drain to the rainstorm to that small moment at the carnival. He was the same boy next door. And now finally he was your boy next door.